preparation day 5, and we are doing, it's day 6, and we are looking at preparing ourselves for the proposal of the King. Wow. So welcome to Celebrate Life on reggae-to-reggae.com, and we are in the present series where we're doing a 45-day series, and we're doing 15 days of preparation and then 30 days of just embracing and reveling in the proposal of the King. And this is preparing. The days of preparation will be getting us ready not just for a proposal from the King, but for a proposal from that very special one, as well as how to handle proposals in business or in any kind of situation. So remember, this is not just for the spiritual, it is for the physical and every area. How do you prepare yourself? And yesterday we had a fabulous program where we learned how to prepare ourselves to give and receive love. And that was a fabulous program because we looked at how God had enabled us to love Him, love ourselves, and then love others, regardless of what they did or who they were. And we just learned how to do it without any problem, because that's the only way you could love others. And in fact, that's the only way I can love myself, because every time I do things to mess up, I get so upset with myself. But not for long, because He has given me the enabling to love myself, to love others, to forgive myself, accept myself. Wonderful. And that is the way we were made, because God is love and we were made in His image, and so we have the ability to give and receive love. And the last segment I thought was just so pivotal, because guess what? It is out of that segment that we learn to actually recognize what stress is, how to get rid of stress, and the fact that if our spirits are not aligned with God's Spirit, we will always have stress. So when we understand all of this, it's so easy to really, just get in line, and it's all a choice. It's a choice. You have to make that choice. You have to decide that this is what you'd like to do, and having made that decision, you just go ahead and do it. With whose power? With whose help? It's all in the operations manual. And another thing that we talked about was jam icons again. Remember, we spoke about the fact that as Jamaicans, we are all jam icons. We have all been made an icon. And what I would like to encourage you here at Celebrate Life is to develop your own iconage, whatever that is. But the issue is that we all have geniuses. All of us have things that we are just given specifically by the Creator to really do extremely well at. And so we need to find that thing, bring it out, and just celebrate it every day. And so it's not about doing more things. It is about doing those things that we enjoy, that we have special giftings in, and just doing them to the best. We can't do number 4 unless we have done number 1, 2, and 3 in that order. And so we're going to start with number one. Where are we going? You know, life is about choices. And we always have a choice. You know, where's that thing again? Deuteronomy 30:80. I don't remember where it is, but whatever it is, it says we have a choice between life and death. Right? God has given us a choice. We need to choose life. You know, life and death are in the power of the tongue, and they that love death will eat of death. They that love life will eat of life. It says life and death are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat of its fruit. Right? And so we need to understand the choices that we have. Everything in life is a choice. Okay? And so it is a choice to give and receive love. You know, I was talking about loving yourself and accepting yourself. That was a concept that we were looking at when we were doing the tapping. Tapping. Ooh. Using our acupuncture pathways. It's not really just acupuncture. It's our energy pathways. And tapping on them and learning to send messages by our positive affirmations about ourselves and sending them along the energy pathways, moving them to the place where they are able to impact our physical bodies, because that is what it does. Oh, I was talking about icons, right? And I looked at so many fashion icons and their designs that I have been wearing on the show. And today I'm wearing one of more icons outfits, and this is a tent dress. It's real big and wide. You can't see the rest of it, but it goes like this and it goes like that. And then I made earrings as well. I won't tell you what I made them from. Buttons. Got two nice buttons and put some backs on it. And that, voila. And it's very simple, very easy, very elegant, very loving. It shows that I love myself, right? And so whatever you put on should show that you love yourself. Don't just drag on any old thing and just go to the public. Or don't drag on anything and go into private or public. You want to see me dress up at home. People come and say, "Ooh, you're going out?" I said, "No." "So why are you so dressed up?" "Because I want to. I enjoy dressing up. I like how I look when I'm dressed up. And so I dress up to go to bed. I dress up to go to the beach." Wonderful. My choice. Not telling you to do the same. But if it could turn your face from being such a sourpuss into a little more smiles, then it's worth trying. Okay? So, choices, choices, choices. When you're going to decide where you're going, you have to make these choices. You're going to choose whether you're going to give and receive love or not. That's number one choice. Number two choice is you're going to choose whether you're going to choose life or death. Right? In everything you have a choice of your words. They're either speaking life or they're speaking death. Which one are you going to choose? You're going to choose to speak life or you're going to choose to speak death. That's another choice. The other choice we have, which is probably the most important choice, is choosing whether we are going to eat of the tree of life or we're going to eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And that is a choice. Our original ancestors, Adam and Eve, chose to eat of the knowledge of good and evil. Now they were living in a situation where every day they were eating of the tree of, no, they were not eating of the tree, but they were experiencing the lifestyle of being in the light and the expressions of eating of the tree of life. Now, God had created them like that, and they knew no evil. They just knew good, life, light, abundance, provision, protection, just living in a state of just glory. And then they got a choice. Would you like to know some more? And I'm telling you, so many of us fall to that trap. You want to know some more? Right. And so we fall to that trap and we engage in the knowledge of good and evil. Well, my dear, the day I realized that that was a choice I continued to make, I decided I am not making any more knowledge of evil coming to me, only good. And there is one source of the knowledge of good. The operations manual, see it here? It has all the things that can go wrong in life and how to prevent them, protect them, and fix them, and repair them, and deal with them. Oh my goodness, it's all there. And so I started to dig in. Every time I had a challenge, I would dig in. You know where I would go? I'd go to the troubleshooting section that's at the back. Every operations manual that is worth its while has a troubleshooting section at the back. You will look through for the things that you're having a challenge with, and then you can always find the answer. And this here book was sent to heal us from everything that goes wrong physically, psychologically, and spiritually. Because guess what? You know that the people who wrote this book in the original language of Hebrew, they don't have a word for secular. Only everything is spiritual. When you go to the bathroom, it's spiritual. Everything you do is spiritual. Because it's done out of your spirit. It is motivated by your spirit. And once you operate according to your spirit, there is no stress. So, consult this book, and we'll tell you more about that when we come back in the next section. So come back.
On reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, alternative media experience.
Are you struggling with some kind of health condition? Is it arthritis, high blood pressure, Crohn's disease, constipation, AIDS, cancer? Whatever it is, we can show you how to get your natural defenses up so that your bodies will deal with your condition. Join us as our studio audience on reggae2reggae.com when we will teach you how to celebrate every moment of your life. Call us at 336-7350 for information. Limited space. Join me for Celebrate Life, where we will be looking at all the issues that you could possibly have and how you can transform them into a celebratory occasion. Celebrate life on reggae2reggae.com. See you there.
Reggae to reggae, bun down bro mana. Make it burn, them come mana. Make it burn, bumpy go oh mana. Make it burn, make it bun. Africa we come from mana. Reggae to reggae, big up on yourself, see? I love, as I would say. Oh my.
We're in segment 2 of Celebrate Life in our 15 days of preparation. And we are here talking about getting prepared for the proposal of the King. The King. Okay. So once we look at this proposal, we will understand that our King has everything prepared for us. All the provisions. Can you think about being proposed to by a king, a real king? When you want a real king, that is the proposal we are getting ready for. So nobody think that, oh, this is a little monkey proposal. No, sir. This is a big time proposal, and so we need to be prepared. Because let's face it, once, in the whole Jewish marriage scene, sometimes a year before, 2 years, 3 years, sometimes long before, there's a proposal. But the king comes and tells, the gentleman comes and gives his intention. The lady decides if she is interested, and then there's a betrothal, right? No. The man goes back to go prepare the house, or the room, or the bridal chamber, as it were. And in the meantime, the lady is getting herself together. She's making sure that when she gets into that consummation, she is worth waiting for. So she prepares herself physically with all the oils and the this and the that, and then she prepares herself psychologically, getting her nice ways, her emotions in the right place, and her relationships have got to take a change because she can't accommodate anybody else. And then she prepares herself in her spirit so that when she gets into that new season of life, she is just worth waiting for. And that's what we're doing in the days of preparation. And so in this segment, we have choices. We're looking at the knowledge of good and evil. And I want you to understand exactly what that does. You see, if you do not guard yourself from the knowledge of evil, then you are going to be impacted by it. And what it opens you to is depression, anxiety, uncertainty, fear, guilt, shame, anger, pain, lack, loss, and stress. And these have to do with the opening also to another source. Knowledge of good and evil means that we are being exposed to the two sources. And so if we choose to have the knowledge of evil, it will also lead us into a place of independence from God. Because knowledge of evil gives us an option that we can follow. And I am here to tell you, most of our training institutions open us to that. And the so-called specialization areas are in fact giving us the enemy's solutions to a lot of problems, when all the solutions are already in the operations manual, and we just need to seek them there and to apply them to our situations. So it is so important to understand that we cannot move without this operations manual. Okay, so independence from God is what? You can choose to do what you want instead of what God instructs. It cuts you off from God's blessings when you use that other route. Our resources now come from outside of us instead of from the Spirit that has been put into us. Remember, we are made in God's image, and He breathed into us, and we became a living soul. And so it is from within us, out of that Spirit that He has breathed into us, that we need to pull all the resources that we need. Our covering for the body, soul, and spirit is gone. That is why, whoops, Adam and Eve realized they were not covered any longer. Because our covering for our body, for our souls, and for our spirits come from our always getting our knowledge from our Creator. Anytime we take knowledge from outside of our Creator's knowledge, then we expose ourselves. We are not protected. We are constantly exposed by removing our protective covering. But is it too late? No, it's never too late. Once you recognize that you have done something wrong, that's the wonderful thing about living in the Spirit, right? As soon as you recognize you have done something wrong, 1 John 1:9 is available and effective, right? If we confess our sins, He's faithful and just to forgive us of our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. So, rule number 1, know where you're going. Rule number 2, know your driver. And if he is your driver, you've gone clear. Even when you go off, or you hit a speed bump, or you get into a big pothole, or you drop into a cavern, or you take a wrong turn, once you have him as your driver, you'll be back on track. And then rule number 3 has to do with your contribution to this whole process. And what do you have to do? Rule number 4 is enjoy the ride, which you will if you play it according to these rules. So the knowledge of good and evil is one of the things that, we really need to decide that we are going to choose the tree of life instead of the tree of knowledge and the knowledge of good and evil, right? Because the tree of life gives you life, it gives you love, it gives you light, and once you have those 3 things, you have everything, because those are the genesis, the starting point of every process that is beneficial to us. Because remember, we are looking at our number 1 law, number 1 rule, number 1 foundation, number 1 priority. Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, soul, mind, and strength. And then everything is going to fall into place. We were looking at firsts in a few programs away, probably about 3 programs behind. The principle of firsts. And the first thing we need to do is seek Him first. Every morning, put Him first. Seek His kingdom first. And then everything else will fall into place. All the additional things will fall into place. And so when we choose the tree of life, we know we're going to be choosing, I've said, light, life, and love. And out of that emanates healing and health and provision and prosperity and abundance and direction and food and comfort and counsel and restoration. Whoa, what a whole heap of things. But I want to just sum it all up in one area. Acceptance. Acceptance. Not because of what we do, but because of who we are. Accepted in Jesus Christ. And once we are in that position, we know, we are not assessed according to our actions, nor are we assessed according to our capabilities or what we have. It's not about what we do. It is not about what we have. It is about who we are in the Beloved. Do we know who we really are? Because if we do, then we will be able to relax and not let our own failures put us down, nor the words or actions of others. And it is so important to understand that that is where we need to live. Not to visit, but to live. So, I would like to encourage us as we go into the next section to remember where we're going. Just look down the road and decide where your direction is. 2, who is driving? Who is giving you all the wherewithal, the resources and directives and the repair and the provisions and the protection? And then 3, we need to pay as we enter. Because it does not make sense to go in and think that you can just grab up all the benefits without doing your part. And your part is not difficult. It's just a matter of putting in the time and allowing the driver to be the driver. You know, you can't just take back control of the steering wheel and the gear stick and all that sort of thing in the middle of a... You ever try and see them backseat driver? Not only are they backseating, driving from the backseat, but then we won't come forward and hold the steering wheel. Sure way to have an accident. So do not attempt to take control of the driver's paraphernalia. You don't press the gas, don't press the brakes, do not change the gear, and do not hold on to the steering wheel. Just allow the driver to be the driver. That way you can ride in confidence, knowing that your driver knows where he's going. Your part is to allow him to control the road, the journey, give the directions, and don't give your control to anybody else, because that is the only way we have stress, when we allow other persons to control what we do or do not do. Well, it's time for another break, so we will continue some more of this exciting discussion in our days of preparation for the King's proposal when I come back for segment number 3. See you soon.
On reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience.
This is the Uprising Roast Band, and I represent the reggae2reggae.com. Boom, shakalaka, boom, boom, boom. Sing, check out, I'm out. Trench down, you keep on rocking. Bang, bang, ding, bang, 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 trench down, you keep on rocking. Yeah, the Uprising Group.
The Jamaican music that is emerging in the whole reggae phenomenon is tremendous political forces in this country, because it's a tremendous force for change. It is the first real people's language that has emerged, in which people are singing of their woes, their tragedy, their despair, and are forcing this society to understand.
Reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience.
Oh my.
And we are just looking at how we can prepare ourselves. We looked yesterday at giving and receiving love, but today we're looking at making that choice between the knowledge of good and evil And also all the other choices that we have to make. We've got to choose. In everything we do, we have a choice. And we have to make those choices that will benefit us in the short term as well as the long term. And that is where pay as you enter comes in. Because pay as you enter has to do with the choices you make now by withholding immediate gratification for future gain. And as we look at paying upfront, we're looking at the principle of sowing and reaping. We're looking at the principle of putting in at the beginning, knowing that we are going to gain immense rewards. And it's a sort of exchange, another choice that we have to make, right? The exchange is giving your all to be exchanged for God's all. What an exchange! Boy, anybody who don't take that exchange needs to be sent to the shrink. And I'm just trying to be kind and choosing my words here, right? Because, you know, the word of God says you mustn't call anybody fool or idiot, so I won't do that. But if you have a choice of giving your all and receiving God's all, how does that compare? You know, because I don't care how big my all is. God's all is immeasurably more. It doesn't matter what I have or what I can do. His all is always so much more than my all. That it's just like it's a no-brainer. You know, how do you compare this? How do you decide that, you know, I don't know. Let me just stop here and move ahead, right? So, you know, just recognizing who is driving this vehicle. Our God is full of power and strength and love. You know, and that's what He makes available to us. His unconditional love, which I guess is number one. His undeniable strength and power. And you know, as we engage in embracing this for our everyday lives, it leads us into a place of being able to successfully navigate all the challenges that face us on a daily basis. Because this is a part of life. And we spoke about these things becoming a stepping stone. So as we engage in making this a part of our everyday existence, then we have the joy of just anticipating the positive expected end. You know, all of the different things that we've heard sort of a dovetailing together. You know, when we look at our plan, there's a plan for our lives, a plan to not to hurt us or to harm us in any way, but to give us a future, a hope, an expected end, success and prosperity. And every time I say prosperity, I have to define it. Prosperity is a thing of the spirit. Go and look in the original language. It says it is a thing of the spirit where we have more than enough abundance in every area of life to supply our own needs and excess always to assist others. It's not about money, because I don't know anybody more prosperous than me. And I do have no in the natural. But honey, I don't know anybody who has more than I do. Because when I see things running out on this realm, I just open up. I say, God, I need to draw down. It's time to pull down some more. In fact, my favorite prayer, you know, I know, you know. You know, say I know, say you know. And the answer is going to be totally on time, on the way. But you have to ask. You have done because you asked now. So, we need to understand what is available to us. And part of our responsibility is to understand that. Understand that not only what is available to us, but what we carry. We are carriers of His presence. Carriers of His presence. And if you really understand and embrace what that is all about, then you will look at your life differently. One of the things that really impacted me about being carriers of His presence is how we affect those who we interact with in every area. How do I affect my family if I'm a carrier of His presence? How do I affect my school, my workplace? How do I affect those who I travel along with to and from work? Whether it's on the bus or public transportation or private transportation. How do I affect where I live, in my community, if I'm a carrier of His presence? And I find that a lot of persons are more interested in being part of a group that is doing some wonderful charitable work, and yet they are not impacting the little circle where they are. If we are carriers of His presence, then just like how the glory overshadowed Adam and Eve, it is supposed to overshadow us. When people look at us, they are supposed to see a glow. If His presence is allowed to manifest itself in us, there should always be light and life and love and enthusiasm and passion just coming out of us, oozing out through the holes, because it is constantly oozing in. You know, it's like, I don't know, it's not a pipe, because a pipe sort of contains things. It's sort of that, it's like a shower. You know, if you had a shower that showers you on the inside and showers you on the outside, and you know what is the real reason and purpose? You know what it is? You know what it is? It is the Word. Because the Word and the Spirit are very synonymous with the ideas of light and water and the washing of the water of the Word and the emanating of that light that is within. And so we need to be conscious carriers of His presence, so that we allow that presence to ooze out of us to those who are around. How do you do that? Because if we all have His presence, those who have embraced this lifestyle, why is it that these things are not oozing out of you? It's because of the blockages. The blockages. And that's what we're going to be looking at next week. As we look at those things that are blocking us from becoming loving persons. And if we understand that when Jesus left earth, He left the Spirit. And that Spirit was supposed to be in us and with us, and it's supposed to be engaging us constantly in everything that we need to be and are and do. Then if it's not happening, then there are blockages. And so we need to look at these blockages and understand that they can be removed. And so we're going to be doing that next week. But today I want us to understand who we are, carriers of His presence. And so that presence needs to infuse not just our total beings, but it needs to infuse our total environments, our individual environment around us, wherever we go, and the organizations, institutions, and individuals that we interact with need to be similarly infused with that presence, because it is a presence that, has been given to us. One of the scriptures that I was quite surprised at is that it says that my glory I have given unto them. Wow, if you ever read the John 17 prayer, oopsie boopsie, and the unity that emanates out of that prayer, that desire, that actual gift that God, through His Son, has given to us, the provision, the protection, and one of it is that the glory that God bestowed on Jesus. Jesus said He gave it to us. So, we need to also operate in that glory. And it's time for a break, so I'll see you back in the last section. So come back.
On reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience.
So keep it tuned to reggae2reggae.com and we'll have more for you. Keep it locked.
Join me for Celebrate Life, where we will be looking at all the issues that you could possibly have and how you can transform them into a celebratory occasion. Celebrate Life on reggae2reggae.com. See you there.
Oh my. They will come to pass. With all this injustice, this world could never last. Oh, somehow I know things have got to change.
Hi, we're back in segment 4 of day 6, days of preparation. And today we are looking at choices and choosing and how we are able to give and receive love, which we did in yesterday's program, and make those choices that will enable us to receive and give. The first choice we have to make is that exchange of all of us for all that God has to offer us. And anytime you make that exchange, you never lose. Cannot lose, because what He has to offer is immeasurably more. I used to say 10 times more or 100 times more, but it really is immeasurable. There is no limit to what He has to offer us. There is a limit to what we can offer, because we are creatures who live in a limited time, space, etc. But what He has to offer us is limitless, and we need to be able to take advantage of that. And I wanted to look at the fact that we are carriers. How can we enjoy this ride? Because remember, we are in the 4th section, which says, celebrate the ride. And this whole issue of making those choices. So very often we make choices and then we are depressed by the choices, or we are stressed by the choices. And remember what I said about stress? Stress only happens when we are out of sync with what God wants us to do. We are out of sync. Our spirit is out of sync. Our actions are out of sync with what God's Spirit would want us to do. And so it's just a matter of going to the troubleshooting section in the manual and looking to see exactly how we should be responding. Because guess what? Every day we have a challenge. And as we work on that challenge, as we try to overcome, go around, over, remember that verse? Be anxious for nothing. With everything, prayer, supplication, with thanksgiving, make your requests known. And He will garrison your hearts. And be anxious for nothing. No stress taking you, but such as is common to man. God is faithful. Will not allow you to be stressed above that which you are able, but make a way of escape so that you are able to bear it. So if we engage that by looking in the troubleshooting section of the manual, that's in the back, right, to see where do you find those life-giving words that will heal us from whatever ails us. He sent His word to heal us, right? I don't write Bible, I only read it. So I just need to go along with what it says about everything that faces me. So that's the way to get through that. And once you have those words under your belt, or if you don't have them under your belt, you go and find them in the book. Then you apply them to your situation, and they must work. And if they don't work the first time, it's because you don't hear them enough. So read them over and over and over, all to yourself. Sometimes I record things on a tape recorder and just play it back to myself over and 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 over. And I repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. Let me tell you something. Until it becomes a part of a natural, it just comes out of me spontaneously because it has gone in so often. So we need to understand that faith comes by hearing the word of God. Whether you speak it or somebody else speak it, but I'm telling you, it's more effective when you speak it, because there will mean that you have engaged it, you have believed it enough to repeat it. It's not just hearing it by the way, and then it will now go into and affect your DNA. Well, that's our next program for Days of Preparation. Day 7, we are going to be doing changing your DNA. Now, those of you who have medical background know, say, there is a misconception in the medical field that you cannot change your DNA. I am here to tell you that you can change your DNA, your physical DNA, your psychological DNA, and your spiritual DNA. Why? Because the life is in the blood. And if you can get your blood to do what you need it to do, you can change your DNA. But that is for tomorrow's program. But today, we're looking at being carriers of His presence. And once we have that presence in us, we will understand that there are several words. I love to do word studies, right? There are several words that you can do a study on to find it out. One of them is manifest. Manifest. You know what that word means? It means what has already been planned and is already in place, but not active for those around to see the effects of it. I hope I explained that carefully and clearly. The issue is, we hear about it, we read about it, we know it exists, but we don't see it played out. And that is why the whole world is groaning for the manifestation of the sons of God. And that is how we are referred to, the sons of God. Whether you are female or you are male, whether you are old or whether you are young, the whole world is groaning. That's why we have so much earthquake and so much tidal wave and so much hurricane. You think I'm joking? That is the reason. Because we are supposed to be manifesting the glory of God around. And manifestation is a part of providing solutions. Because when we start exhibiting this presence as carriers of the presence of this spirit, then we will really start operating in the realm that we were made to operate in. And you know, a lot of people are waiting for the season. But the season is whenever you choose. And a lot of you ever hear people call, a lot of people say, she's before our time. That is because you have chosen to manifest what God has placed within all of us before others are ready to accept it. So don't let anybody dissuade you from manifesting. Because if you manifest before they are ready to accept, then at least you will be an instigator. You will be a forerunner. Look how everybody used to talk about John the Baptist. You know, he was a mad man. And a lot of people call other people mad men and mad women. But you are just manifesting. So don't be afraid to manifest. Why? Because you are backative. You have backative. Remember what God is doing. He is going around, looking around the whole world, trying to find somebody who is manifesting His presence, so that when they get into a corner and their back is against the wall, He can show Himself strong on your behalf. So, yeah, you're going here. It's a win-win situation, and I encourage you to join me on this journey and enjoy your life. And celebrate this part of the journey as you go through it. Every day needs to be a celebration. Why? Because that is how God wants you to operate. One day, during this whole process of preparation, we are going to talk about the joy of suffering. Yes. And I know about the joy of suffering. Dancing through your tears. Just really reveling and enjoying the goodness of God in the land of the living, in spite of whether it's death or life or principalities or powers or criminals or lack or loss. Nothing can separate us from His love. And so we need to manifest that fact as we interact with those around us. So let us make a decision, make a choice to give and receive love. To choose to eat from the tree of life rather than the tree of knowledge of good and evil. To choose life instead of death. And to be a carrier of His presence. So until tomorrow, when we are going to be looking at changing your DNA, it's Shalom from Celebrate Life on reggae to reggae.com. It's all done through the power of my animal, the lion of the tribe of Judah. See you soon.